So let's say that this one is crazy. S is crazy with an exclamation mark. So if I know that, I might be writing it out somewhere. And actually, in the spirit of things, I should use paint. Paint is what the industry professionals use for every field of design. So if we look at this, you know that goes through all of it, but we're just saying on the first iteration of the loop. So if I take this word crazy, and I should remember that I'm going to get rid of the quotes. The first index is, of course, what number? What is the index of the first? 0, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and don't forget 5. So taking that, it says in the first iteration of the loop, giving with substring of I times 2. Now, on the first iteration, what is... Oops, I think I made a mistake on that one. Pretending that I equals 0, because I will fix that later. What is the substring going to print out? The substring of I times 2 put onto our quote, or our string phrasing. 0. Okay. What is the substring of 0, though, on that? All of it, yeah. So if I is 0, if we're on I equals 0, because I actually made a mistake in the original and I wrote this instead, but that should say I equals 0. So sorry about that. But yeah, so 0 times 2 is still 0. Substring of it goes from 0 to the end, and that's the whole thing. So that's one of the three options it could be. You could get that kind of one. Obviously, none of the other changes happen. I included one where if you thought for whatever reason 0 times 2 was 2, it would print that, and then nothing really makes those things happen. So you guys feel okay on that one, right? Because that was actually one of the easier ones. It's a for loop, but it's like you're ignoring the for loop because it's not really there. You're just doing the first iteration. Next, if mystery 2 takes Rasputin and put, then what would count be? So what would count be? Starting at 0. I'm going to go ahead and just copy and paste this whole thing in there. Can you guys read that? All right, cool. All right, so given this, if this is Rasputin, good old Raspy, and this is put. So basically all the ones I designed have been the same kind of idea. You start at the beginning at I equals 0. You get the substring of 0 at the beginning, so that's the whole thing, and see if put is in there. Because if put is in there, the index of it is going to be greater than -1, obviously, and so it increments count. Then it does it again, this time here. So far, how many times have I implemented if I'm now on A? Yeah, so this is my second one, so I'm doing 2. So I've done it once so far. There's not a second one. Both of you that said first and second. All right, then if I go to the S, 3, 4 on the P, how do I want to get to the U? Do I add to 5? No. And so that's just using the substring over and over again. Because each time, when you take it of 0, of 1, of 2, it gets to a different number, ending up with answer 4. Any other questions? Any other questions about this? Yeah. What makes a loop?
No, what makes it lead?
Oh, this. It goes as long as I is less than s dot length. The length is equal to the number of characters, in this case, 8. So once I has been incremented all the way up to 8, it stops. Yeah, and so each time it goes R to the end, A to the end, S to the end. Do you guys have any questions on that one? Any other questions? All right, so this is a fun one, and we'll come back to it. Let's look at some of the easier stuff. We'll come back to that one too. Actually, you guys want to do this hard, complex one now? The while loop? All right, so guys, here's one of the more difficult ones. If you can get this one, then you'll probably do pretty well. So if you can get this, you'll probably do a-okay. So here it is. If I'm just keeping track of my values, I know I should probably keep track of x1 and count, and that's just because it's x1. Because I know that I'm probably going to do something with some of them. And I might also just write down what user input is, just so that way I can have it. And I'll change it to user imp, just so it fits. All right, let's go and begin. So while user input dot equals ignore case continue, is it continue? Okay. So I go in, I increment count. So let me go ahead and handle that right now. Count plus 1. Is count modulus 2 equal to 1? So if that's the case, we go into this if statement, which is represented in purple. I color-coded it, so that way you can see it a little better. And then we look at it and say, okay, is count greater than 3? Let's take a little time. Is 1 greater than 3? Good. Your math teachers would be proud of you. x1 equals x1 plus 2. And then we do that 3 more times. Do you guys want to go through it? Because we already did one very much like this. Do you guys want to go through it and actually get to the answer, or just move on to the next? Will do. If you want me to go through it with you one-on-one, let me know. All right, let's say, given the example code, string sample equals peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion, we gain strength. Through strength. No, I'm sorry. Anyway. So peace is a lie, there's only passion. Int position equals sample.index of sub. Now, y'all, if sub is A, what does position equal? If sub is A, what does position equal after we get the index of sub in this sample? 0, 1, 2. Good. Makes sense? Third character, second index. Index number 2. Any of you know what this is from? Yeah. How'd you know? Okay. Yeah, sources and the code of the Sith. All right. Here's the part that's a little different. And I put in 3 of them in here because it's a little bit new this week. So, is that valid? Hands up for valid. Well, I mean, it's not for example. It's just declare initialize. Is this valid? Particularly, what I'm asking is giving an integer value 9 to a double variable x valid? Is that an okay conversion? Yeah, it's totally valid. Guys, less complex, right? Less complex with whole numbers versus having non-whole numbers, right? That can go right into double, no problem. Yeah, this is true. This works no problem. That actually does compile. We could even open up Dr. Java and check it out and see that it does. Versus this one, can this one compile? You might notice I said versus, so yeah, no, it can't. Because guys, double cannot go into integer. Integer can go into double, double cannot go into integer, which we can see. So yeah, double x equals 9 is fine, but int y equals 9.0 is not so fine. Look at that. So this is okay, that's not. One more of those. How about this? Is this okay? If I'm casting it, remember that's casting, right? Is it okay if I cast it from double to integer and then give it to the integer? Oh. Yes or no? Heads up. Say yes. Yes. And guys, all that is, I'm just turning it into an integer. Meaning that now both of them print out just fine. Compile and run just fine. And I misspelled example, but that's okay. I probably have the word example 100 times, so yeah. So I might, if this keeps up. All right, so that's the other thing I just want you to be remembering is that you can cast, that's fine. You can go from double to integer as long as you cast, as long as you're doing it like that. You do need that guard. This, with my fist covering up the word int, is not good. But without my fist covering it, it is good. Any questions on these conversions here? Yeah. So that double x9, that's okay. Integer to double doesn't need a conversion. It knows how to do that. It's only worried about losing information. All right, so this one's actually kind of tough. It's a lot like that other one, but this time it goes -1. So I started at I equals 1 and go as long as it's less than the length. Because if I started at 0, what would happen if it did a of I minus 1? What would happen? Would it break? Yeah. Just say if it will break or not. I don't really need to know the exact method just yet. Okay, 12 minutes. Let's go and wrap this up. All right. So if we start at 1, and if I'm putting this into a document, I might go ahead and just do this. If I'm starting at 1 right here. No, wait, sorry. All right, so if you know this, just remain quiet, just go through it. I start at 1. I set a at I equal to a at I minus 1, right? That's this value, right? So what does this value now represent? What is this? Okay. Now, I go to I equals 2. What does this value now equal? Good. Because it equals a at I minus 1. And that just actually keeps going. So it's like, if I'm jumping back into the code itself, you notice that I start with this array, and then each time I go from 1 to the end, I set a at whatever value we're looking at, start at 1, equal to the previous value. So this 2 becomes a 1. Now I go into the a at 2, and set it equal to the previous value, which, as long as I'm writing this out, I will have in my head that that is a 1, not a 2. Does that make sense? Everyone good? Yeah. The temptation is to make it be 1, 2, 3, and just think of it like that. But no, it actually just transforms all of them. Also, arrays don't grow or shrink, so you don't knock out any variables. Questions? Okay. I'm going to fix this problem, so that way it's 0 through s.length equal 1. I think we didn't do 4. Oh yeah, that's right, we didn't finish that one, but I'm pretty sure it's 4, if I remember correctly. Oh no! How did we do? Flawless. So guys, any questions before I just let you loose into this?